Hi, how are you today? Welcome to Unit 2, Lesson number 5. What do you do for a living? Before we start, make sure you can hear me and see me well. Turn on the speakers of your computer and check your internet connection. If you need, you can have a notebook and a pen or a pencil to take notes during the lesson. Let's start. Today, you will learn about jobs and occupations. We will talk about routines at work and the work schedule. Let's begin. Today, we will work around a question. What do you do for a living? I am an English teacher and a translator. What about you? Are you a teacher? A photographer? An assistant? An artist? To start today's lesson, let's meet Miriam. She will tell you about her routine on a weekday.
From Monday to Friday, I work at an office all day. I am an assistant. I usually write emails and notes in the morning. I am working on a new project, so I have daily meetings from 3:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. with my boss and my coworkers, Lily, the secretary, and Sonia, the other assistant.
Activity 1. Listen and choose the correct option. In the previous unit, we talked about some jobs and occupations. Let's add more to your list. Activity 2. Read the definitions of some jobs and match them with the picture. Now, let's take a look at the occupations together. Now, listen and repeat after me. I'm a nurse. I'm a secretary. I'm a firefighter. I'm a chef. I'm a dentist. I'm a hairdresser. I'm a vet. I'm a doctor. Do you remember any other jobs and occupations from previous lessons? In case you don't remember, go check Unit 1, Lesson 4 again. You should also remember the occupation of the people we met in this unit. Sergio is a bus driver. Shamari is a teacher. Lorna is a professional football player. Masha is an administrative assistant. And Susan is a secretary. Okay, now, where do they work? In a garage? In a hospital? Where? Activity 3. Where do they work? Complete the sentences. Where do they work? Let's practice the sentences from the previous activity together. A hairdresser works in a salon. A nurse works in a hospital. A secretary works in an office. A firefighter works in a fire station. A chef works in a restaurant. A dentist works in a clinic. Now, listen and read about Shamari and Susan's routine at work. Remember, they are co workers at school.
Shomari is a teacher. He gets up at 6 a.m. and he goes to work at 6:30 a.m. He always arrives on time, at 7 a.m. Then, he usually drinks coffee and goes to his classroom. Sometimes, he writes on the board before school begins to be prepared for the lesson. He never plans his lesson at school, he does it at home.
Susan is a secretary. She gets up at 5:30 a.m. She takes the bus and the train to work. She lives far from school. She usually arrives at school on time. She always drinks some tea before school begins. Occasionally, she has meetings with parents and sometimes, she has to help students with difficulties. She never refuses to help anybody.
Activity 4. Read again and answer the following questions. These are the key phrases we learned during this lesson. Take a look. What do you do for a living? What does he or she do for a living? I am a teacher. She is an assistant. Where do they work? She works in a hospital. How often does he drink coffee? He sometimes drinks coffee. Welcome to the practice stage. Carolina and Shamari were classmates in middle school. They meet on the train to work. Listen to them talking about their jobs.
Shamari,
Oh, hi Carolina. How are you?
I'm fine. Where are you going?
I'm going to school. I work there. I am a teacher. How about you?
How nice. I'm going to work too. I am a nurse in the city hospital.
I see. What time do you start work?
I usually start work at 8:30 a.m. Occasionally I start later at 3 p.m. When do you start?
I always start at 7:30 a.m. I thought you wanted to be a dressmaker.
Yeah, but I studied medicine and now I love working as a nurse.
That's great. Oh, I have to get off here. Nice to see you, Carolina.
Nice to see you too, Shamari.
Activity 5. Answer. Shamari or Carolina? Choose the correct option. Activity 6. Listen to the conversation between Shamari and Carolina again. Pause the audio if necessary and decide if these statements are either true, false, or doesn't say. Welcome to the final stage. So far, we talked about routines at work and we worked around 4 key questions. What do you do for a living? Where do you work? What time do you go to work? And how often do you take the bus to go to work? Let's take a look at Andrea's answers to the key questions you learned during this lesson.
Well, first of all, you all know I am a teacher. I work in an elementary school in Verona, and I teach kids aged 7 to 8 years old. I usually go to work at 7:30 a.m. Occasionally, I take the bus, but only when it rains. Most of the time, I commute by bike.
Now it is your turn to share. Look at the questions and write your answers in the forum. You can follow Andrea's model. Thanks for sharing your post in the forum. Remember to read your classmates' posts and make comments if you find things in common. Activity 7. This is a writing activity. How often do you do these activities? Write your answers in complete sentences. We are about to finish the lesson. Today, we discussed the places where we work and our weekday routines indicating their frequency. I hope you have enjoyed the lesson. Remember that if you have any questions, doubts, or there's something you want to share with your classmates, you can do it either in the group forum or during the synchronous session with a tutor. Hope to see you next class. Bye.